Welcome back, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started with the third installment of this video series, Content Management Essentials, Identifying, Collecting, and Organizing Content for Social Media. Again, I'm Jeremy Becker, CEO of Becker Digital, and I'm excited to lead you through this video training on social media concepts and strategy for nonprofit organizations. In this video, we'll be covering content management essentials, including the process for identifying, collecting, and organizing social media content. While understanding the different app features is important, so is having a content management plan that works with the nonprofit's available resources. Today, I hope to provide you with an actionable strategy for managing social media content that will enhance the organization's message and reach without taking excess hours or funds. Social media content is aligned with organizational goals. So what you post on social media should be a positive reflection of your organization's brand, mission, and programs. Social media and organizational operations are not two separate functions. They are, or should be, fully integrated and reflective of each other. A good way to ensure that this integrated approach is implemented is to involve all aspects of organizational leadership, from the CEO to the board, in setting social media goals, strategy development, and social media performance assessment. While it's tempting to just assign social media tasks to one department or person and execute the strategy in silo, it's not a good strategy as it's not reflective of a functional organization, as all users will be getting is one person's take on the mission, which can be very limiting. Social media content is organized and well executed. Organizing social media content within an editorial calendar can help a nonprofit stay on strategy, improve effectiveness, and help with social media assessments. While posting social media content on a whim may work great for your personal social media feeds, organizational social media content should be well-researched, crafted, and planned to ensure maximum effectiveness and avoid potential PR crises that can arise from an ill-timed and sensitive post that makes the organization look bad. So a third content essential is that social media content selection should be target, audience, and app specific. So just posting what you like or think is funny won't cut it when it comes to managing a nonprofit social media channels. It needs to resonate with the target audience and be fitting for the social media app that is posted on. For example, lengthy DIY tutorials do well on Pinterest, while aesthetically pleasing, thought-provoking images tend to perform better on Instagram. Whenever you're evaluating content for social media, be sure to consider both the target audience and the social media app or apps that it's intended for. So another example is if you're coming up with a lot of videos for all your platforms, just when some platforms such as Facebook and Instagram can have videos as well as different other kinds of content posting. But when you get to, say, YouTube, there's only one kind of video. So keep those kinds of things in mind about what kind of content can go on the different social media apps. Next, social media content encourages conversation and user action. So as we discussed in video 2, engagement is the fuel that drives social media growth. And a great way to encourage engagement is to spark conversation and encourage user action through our social media conversation. It doesn't matter if 1,000 people see an organization's social media post about program or fundraiser if no one responds or supports the organization. Action-inducing engagement is key. And finally, all content provides value to the social media user. Effective social media content makes the user's lives better. It's a lot more involved than just posting an event link. It has to offer value that goes beyond mere information broadcasting. Good social media content inspires, educates, and connects. Creating and collecting interesting content to share on social media can be a challenge for any organization, including nonprofits. Just posting donate today over and over will not get a nonprofit very far, as the social media space is increasingly saturated with similar competing content. Learning how to connect with social media users in an authentic, engaging manner can help nonprofit organizations see results on social media. While every social media app is different in regards to the app's features, user demographics, and current trends, there are a few general types of content that nonprofits can customize for their organization's current objectives and for posting on the different social media apps. Having some sort of content bank or theme strategy can help nonprofits brainstorm and generate organization-specific ideas. The majority of these ideas can be incorporated in image or video posts, depending on the social media app that they are to be posted on or with. So today I wanted to provide you with 10 general types of social media content that can be modified for a variety of audiences and multiple different social media apps. While these suggestions are just meant to be somewhat of a guideline, they may be helpful reference for the organization's communications team or committee when hitting a creative block and needing some inspiration when it comes to social media content. So the first social media content idea is fundraising campaign content. This would include things like the initial campaign announcement, fundraising campaign progress updates, campaign results, and donor thank you or spotlights. So second suggestion is organizational programming and offerings information. Social media can be a great place to promote the organization's offerings, including services, products, programs, etc. A good rule of thumb when it comes to managing social media is to keep promotion-specific posts to no more than 10 to 20% of the organization's overall social media content. Third idea is mission testimonials, which includes things like quotes from clients, board members, donors, and volunteers about how the organization has positively impacted their life and the community. When collecting testimonials, the social media manager may want to include images and video content when relevant or accessible. These media-rich types of social media posts typically gain more traction than text or link-only posts on most social media platforms. And for a fourth suggestion on social media content, we've got organization event content. This can include things like event announcements and details, event promotion that encourages signups, photos and videos from the events, and post-event thank yous for sponsors, volunteers, and attendees. Depending on the event size, you can typically get several different social media posts out of just a few hours of activity. And fifth, we would include a fifth content suggestion can include social media posts that demonstrate the organization's community impact. So in brainstorming social media content, try to find creative ways to showcase how the organization has positively impacted the community. While these posts may not directly ask for donations, they do provide social proofing of how effective the organization is and why users should consider supporting its initiatives. Statistics, quotes, and media-rich posts, that's posts with a lot of images and videos, can all help tell an organization's impact story. So out of all types of social media content a nonprofit can post, these are one of the most important and should be routinely incorporated into the organization's social media content calendar. So again, one of the most important types of posts you can use are how the organization is impacting the community. Another good social media content idea is behind the scenes content, as this type of social media coverage provides social media followers with a unique view or perspective of the organization and its mission that's much more personable and approachable than traditional run-of-the-mill promotional posts. When strategizing behind the scene content, consider sharing images and videos of the organization and its team members in action. What may seem like a rather mundane operational activity may be quite insightful and interesting to community members that are interested in learning more about the organization and what it does. Additional behind-the-scenes ideas include things like team member introductions and volunteer spotlights. Next, additionally, social media content that's designed to spark conversation can be a good way to drive engagement and connect with social media users. Nonprofits can do this in a variety of ways, such as posing a question to social media users that are relevant to the organization's mission or community. So nonprofits may want to consider utilizing in-app poll features to help facilitate these conversation starters. Many polling features offer followers anonymity. And also, these engagement opportunities can be used to crowdsource information, increase campaign awareness, and activate members of the community to support the organization. Another idea is posting social media content that communicates ways to get involved. And this can help the nonprofit connect with social media users in an actionable way. So nonprofit organizations typically rely on their community to support the mission in various capacities. Inviting social media followers to volunteer and actively support current organizational priorities can be a good way to activate on existing supporter base. And similar organizational programming or offerings content, best practices suggest keeping these types of posts to no more than 10 to 20% of the organization's overall social media content. And next, share the organization's history on social media, as it can help pique interest while communicating more information about the nonprofit. So most nonprofit organizations have an inspirational story behind its founding. Nonprofits can use a mix of media, post types, and social media app features to tell the organization's story and share how it's developed over the years while demonstrating its impact. And understanding an organization's roots can really help supporters recognize the organization's impact and build trust regarding its sustainability. And finally, the final social media content idea is sharing links that are relevant to the nonprofit. This content helps build the organization's reputation as an industry leader and trusted resource. Examples of potentially relevant content includes things such as press coverage that includes the organization, legislative and or policy information that has the potential to impact the organization and or the community it serves, and industry-specific content that has the potential to provide value to the organization's social media following. And as always, when you're sharing external content on the organization's social media channels, if you use someone else's content, be sure to tag the content source whenever possible. So before we get into content management strategies, I did just want to quickly touch on app-specific content types. We go much more into detail about each app-specific content options within the written strategy, so be sure to reference that for future use. While social media apps are always changing and updating features, at present, these types of content are options for posting on the different types of social media apps. So on Facebook, posts that contain links, text, photos, videos, and polls are all content options. Additionally, live video and stories are also available. On Twitter, posts that contain links, photos, videos, and polls are all available. Hashtags are particularly important on Twitter. And Instagram is an app that's all about photos and videos. Additionally, the Instagram story feature is becoming increasingly popular. On LinkedIn, posts that contain links, text, and photos are all options. There are now ways to share video on LinkedIn as well. Pinterest is pretty unique in that some type of graphic and link is required to create a pin. Pinterest recently rolled out video pin options, and that's projected to be a pretty popular feature as it's more widely adopted. And lastly, YouTube, which is all about video. So pretty much one option on YouTube, but it is very effective. So when you're collecting and creating social media content, it may be a good idea to keep the social media channels that you hope to post in mind and strategize app-specific ways in which you can amplify the message. For example, if you want to post on social media about an upcoming fundraising drive, you may want to consider posting an interesting photo on Instagram that's related to a fundraiser, create a video communicating fundraiser details on Facebook, and a concise text post with a link to the fundraiser on Twitter. Now onto content management strategies. Collecting quality, relevant content is an integral part of social media success. Nonprofits need several different types of content for social media posting, including article, blog, and information links, images, and videos. When collecting content for social media, nonprofits should consider two things. Do we have the person's content to share this content online? And does sharing this content infringe on any intellectual property rights? Just because you find a photo online doesn't mean that it's legal or ethical to save that photo and post it on an organization's social media. Now, with that being said, we're not lawyers here, so the actual legality of all the different thing is, you probably want to get legal counsel if you have any real questions on that, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. If you find something, be sure you're not stealing someone else's stuff and kind of what's ethical or legal in sharing or reposting or things like that. So just something to keep in mind. So here are a few suggested resources for collecting images and videos on social media. So original photography and videography is always going to be your best bet when creating social media content. While it's not always available or time efficient, it's best. Some nonprofits may find it helpful to plan one afternoon a month to collect photo and videos of the organization in action, team members, volunteers, and the like. The social media that's collected can then be spread out over the month in social media posts. Another method for media collection is to crowdsource photos and videos from organizational team members, clients, volunteers, and donors. The nonprofit can ask these organizational supporters to share photos or videos that can be used for social media posting purposes. Example of a crowdsourced media resource is to ask veteran clients to provide a service photo to be featured in the client's social media or the organization's social media in support of Military Appreciation Month or Veterans Day. Hosting a social media event like a photo challenge, virtual scavenger hunt, or social media bingo game, for instance, can be another source of social media content for nonprofits. And while these social media facilitated events can take some development and coordination in the nonprofit's part, they can be very productive in getting followers and supporters to create content that supports the mission and helps spread the word about the organization. Also, a photo challenge can be created around a theme or event, like a fundraiser or volunteer day, and invite social media users to participate in by taking pictures and hashtagging the event. And nonprofits can then share these user-generated images and posts on their social media channels. The final and least desired source of social media imagery is stock photo banks. They're pretty easy to get into and access. They often do not generate the same level of response from users as original posts and can open up nonprofits to copyright issues if the images are used outside the photo owner's licensing guidelines. But that being said, there are a few free stock photo resource banks that nonprofits may find helpful, and these include Pixabay, Negative Space, Unsplash, and StockVault. And I believe these may be listed in your written strategies as well. As we mentioned earlier, maintaining an editorial calendar is an essential part of social media content management. An editorial calendar can really help an organization streamline its social media management and select content that's relevant and sensitive to the current social climate. These editorial calendars doesn't have to be set in stone. It's a guideline that includes the content that's to be posted, hashtags and links, along with any special days or events that the team should be aware of when posting. This is particularly important when multiple team members are involved in an organization's social media management. Two Google document templates of editorial calendars for social media content have been linked to the written social media strategy provided by Becker Digital. So that's included as well in your strategy. So be sure to check those out and see if either of those templates work for your organization. Once the nonprofit has social media content created and planned out on the editorial calendar, they can schedule the posts within a third-party social media scheduling app. Having social media content scheduled can help the nonprofit social media team save time and vary the posting times to align with optimal app usage. A few suggestions of social media scheduling apps or programs to use could include Buffer or Hootsuite. They both have free versions, and you can use them for posting on Twitter and LinkedIn. Facebook's in-app post scheduler is pretty optimal for posting on Facebook. You can also utilize Buffer or Hootsuite to schedule Facebook posts if you prefer that. Planoly is a free version, is helpful for Instagram. You can also schedule Instagram stories within Planoly, so that can also be another big time saver when it comes to social media management. If the nonprofit decides to explore Pinterest, Tailwind offers post scheduling for this platform, but there is no free version. And I think paid plans usually start about $15 a month or so. Optimal posting times for each social media app are discussed in more detail in written social media strategy, so be sure to reference that when planning content for a particular app. Consider organizing monthly themes for social media content that correlate with industry or community specific topics. While this content doesn't have to dominate the entire month's social media content, having a themed content plan incorporated in the organization's social media editorial calendar can help provide the marketing team with some structure regarding what to post and when. Another option is to create weekly themes around community, industry relevant awareness days, holidays, and observances. In the written social media strategy, we've provided you with a list of holiday and industry specific observances that could be utilized for content theme inspiration. And as we discussed in video 2, it's important to remember that engagement, things like comments, likes, and shares, is key for social media success. As part of your organization's social media plan, the team should designate someone or someones to moderate and respond to comments and mentions on social media channels within 2 to 3 business days. The goal with social media is to spark conversation about the organization, prompt user action to support the organization, and build long-term relationships between the organization and the community. And all of this can be accomplished in a cost-effective manner through the management of active social media channels for the organization. With each social media channel that the organization has a presence on the board or social media committee, should ask the following questions. Who will collect information on social media for this channel? Who will post and or schedule content for this channel? Who will monitor conversations and engage with users on this channel? And who will review social media analytics for this channel and provide reports and suggestions to the group? Some clients find it works best to assign multiple team members or small committees to one platform, while others prefer designating one person to manage each channel. Social media strategy execution is highly organization specific, so the main thing is to figure out what works for your organization and then put that system in place. Well, that's a wrap for social media content management. And so just to summarize a few key points, just remember all social media content should be aligned with organizational goals. Social media content selection should be target audience and app specific. Creating and collecting interesting content to share on social media can be challenging. Having a content bank or themed strategy can help nonprofits brainstorm and generate organization-specific ideas. And editorial calendars, social media scheduling apps, and comment moderation plans can help streamline social media efforts. And that concludes our third installment in this video training series. It's been a pleasure to explore content management strategies with you. Remember, there are additional information and resources related to this topic outlined in the written social media strategy that we provided. Also, please note that Becker Digital's website has many additional free resources available related to social media and nonprofit organizations. Thank you for your time and attention.